the questions I see a lot online from new balloon artists or people just starting out in the industry is, how do I price my garlands, specifically organic garlands? And in this video, we are going to take a deep dive into how much should you charge for your balloon garlands and how to price for your decorations. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is know your numbers. One of the things that a lot of people struggle with when they are charging is that they don't know what things cost. They're just buying whatever colors they want, they're buying whatever size balloons they want, and they're not actually writing down and keeping the receipts and evaluating what they're spending their money on. And another thing, the second thing that people don't think about is hidden costs, overhead costs, and things like that that may not be the initial cost for the event that you're performing. It may be a cost that is expanded over several events, and those are considered your overhead costs. And overhead costs are something that you do have to factor into your pricing so you can make the most profit and also be able to charge more because you are very uniform in your pricing model. So with this video, I want you guys to make a list of everything you currently offer. So that way, you know for a fact over the last 12 months, this is all the things that I've offered as far as services, add-on services, delivery, setup cost, teardown cost, balloons, backdrops, pillars, shimmer walls, every little thing that you have spent money on, every little thing that you have provided to a client. I want you just to make a big master list on that. And then once you have that list, I want you to highlight the things that you execute most frequently or actually enjoy performing the most for your clients. So for me, I enjoy doing drone deliveries, and then secondary to that is my balloons. So it used to be the other way around, but once I noticed that I enjoy the drones a lot more because I'm just very in and out and I can actually service more people in a day, I started focusing on the drones rather than my balloons. So it actually which actually maximized my profit. So you want to make your master list, and then you want to highlight the things that you most frequently offer and get booked for, and then the things that you actually enjoy the most. From there, you want to try and create packages or a base pricing framework, so that way when you are posting on Instagram and posting on other social media sites, you're showing what you're selling and you're not going overboard and showing things that you don't or no longer want to offer. And then once you have your numbers for all those things that are on your highlighted list, that are on your most frequently purchased list, then you want to break down everything by all the way down to the last cent. And so I have a pricing formula. Part of the formula is your materials. You have to understand all the materials that you're using. So all the balloons, all the zip ties, all the rubber bands, things like that, that goes into your materials section. Then your time is basically self-explanatory. You want to charge for how much time it takes you not only to go to and from the venue that you are delivering to, but also your research time, your prep time before you even get there, and then your on-site time of actually assembling everything. So all that goes into your time, and that can be an estimate. And then your rate is how much you want to be how much you want to charge per hour, or how much you want to get paid per hour. So I tell everyone to start at $25 and work your way up from there. If you're not confident, then start at 25. But every year you should be raising your hourly rate. But if you want to start right out the gate charging $45, $50 an hour, that's fine too, because you know you are worth that much, and you can deliver that much in value, then go ahead and do that as well. Rate is really based on you as a person and how confident you are in charging for your services. So when you multiply the time times the rate, you're going to add that to the materials and you're going to get a number. And then once you have that number, you're going to add in overhead charges. So overhead is what I was talking about earlier, which was anything like gas, the gas on the vehicle that you're using. If you're using your own personal vehicle or you have a dedicated van for your business, the gas is going to be used for multiple events. So yeah, you may put $100 in your tank or $75 in your tank, but that $75 will last over multiple rentals. So that's why the overhead is a breakdown and a smaller number than what you're actually spending. You're not going to charge someone $60 for gas because you're probably only using like $15, if that makes sense. So once you have your overhead number, then you're going to add that to the materials and then the multiplication of your time and rate. And then that's going to be your price. And so in this example, you have $80 worth of materials, you have 3 hours for your time, and then you're charging $45 an hour, and that'll equal $215. And then we add in the $35 for any overhead like waste, pop balloons, scissors, things like that. That is, excuse me, that is going to be $35 added to the $215, which would bring you to $250. So for a 10-foot garland, if someone's saying, oh, well, I could find it for $100, well, what's the quality? That's what I always think about. What's the quality? Where are these people getting their balloons? Are they doing this for fun and not a business? Because I feel like that's a red flag at someone that doesn't even care. Are they getting their balloons from Amazon? Are these balloons going to pop if it's outdoors? You know, like I've heard that plenty of times. And in my Balloon Boss Academy, we go over like common objections like that. And so that doesn't even faze me anymore. I'm just like, okay, cool. You know, just keep it pushing. If someone wants to object to your prices, you can't really fight them on that. And you probably dodged a bullet by them objecting, because even if you try and persuade them, if they come back a second time and say something, then I would just kind of write them off as a client and just let them find another vendor. You can't really take it personally because everybody's financial situation is different. And if that person would rather have $100 worth of service than $250 worth of service, then that's on them. I mean, it's the difference of, you know, do you want a used car or do you want a new car? You know, so if you get a new car, a brand new car, you're going to pay a premium for that new car. But if you're getting a used car, then you have to consider all these other things, like how many miles does it have? Like when's the last time it was serviced and things like that. So I would think of it like that. Like it's not so much them attacking your value. It's more of them not being in the best financial situation to be worth your value. So that's just me. That's just me. When you're talking to clients, you really want to think about the whole experience that you're giving them and sell them on that. And if you have experience performing similar services or tasks for other clients, I always suggest getting referrals or getting client testimonies put on your site So that way you can show future clients what your value is really worth. And then you also want to not argue with anybody. Anytime there's an objection, just always go back to it's not me, it's them. And always go back to not trying to sell them. You're not trying to convince anybody of your prices. You're not trying to sell them on your prices. You're just trying to get them to see the value. And if they don't see the value, they're just not a good client for you. And I'd rather walk away from a bad client than to book a bad client and then have it be stressful and a headache. So, so if you guys got anything out of this video, don't forget to hit the like, comment, and then also check out my free community, because over there we go deeper into some things, and I have my pricing modules and lessons over there. So you guys can check that out, and it goes a little deeper into all the objections. There's some freebies as far as like an objection cheat sheet, and you guys will hopefully enjoy that if you're a balloon artist and decorator like me. So see you guys in the next one, and thank you for watching.